Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're back in House Flipper at the Samarta Meyers house, and today I'd like to finish off the garden. I've been thinking about what to do with this, but I do really want to keep all of the trees and most of the bushes and things that are already in the garden naturally, because it's that creepy house vibe, because it was owned by the horror writers. So we want to try and keep a lot of this older foliage. So I think I'll keep these flower beds of foliage at the front of the house itself, and I think we want to keep what's left of the garden fairly simple. I do think I might want to remove this though. So, not paint, sell. So let's sell this tree. I think we'll put a flower bed in here. We already have our cemetery here that we did in the other episode, because you've got the burial in the back garden, so we've turned it into a small cemetery, so you've got a nice place to sit and remember the person. You've got some nice foliage all in remembrance, like the white rose as a remembrance thing, and we've kept the dense foliage and added more foliage to it to keep it dense, so we've got that nice little graveyard now rather than the scary grave. We've made ourselves a beautiful patio area for relaxing with your barbecues and things here. So we've got the nice seating here, your barbecue, and that. I really quite like this grouping. I like this furniture. I think it's really good. So that's our patio area here. I think that's turned out really, really well. And then we've made a children's playground area. And we've got a hammock for the parents or maybe a teenager to rest in, because we've turned it into a big family house. You can see all the interior done on some of the videos in the channel. And then down the front, I think we're going to keep things fairly simple. I think we'll put a row of shrubs and conifers along the front fence. That small flower bed at the back of the house, and we've got this beautiful pink flower here. I think we'll leave that. We'll leave these pieces of foliage, and we want a sort of pink flower to match the other one in this area at this corner, so that it matches. Right, so flower, hang on, which one will be? Oh, what does this look like? Okay, it's a little bit small for this, but that could be, using lilies could be quite a nice touch, couldn't it, for the locations that we're going to be putting in now. So I want a sort of pink. Is it oleander small might work actually? Oh no, that's too small. The tall one I think might be too big for the space that we've got here. I just want some pink to match the, yeah, that might be a little bit big, but it could be a usable, the oleander could be a usable. Kind of want something pink and flowery and bushy. I think things like this are far too small, aren't they? Yeah, they are. We want something fairly big. I've not got that used to the plants, and I don't remember names of a lot of plants, so my plant knowledge is not as big as it needs to be to get this right on the first look. How big are the rhododendrons? I think that might work. And it's not identical to the one, but we've got the pink at this side. So I just think it might be nice to have the pink there. In fact, we could put something small in front of that as well, couldn't we? So there is a dwarf, isn't there, as well? So should we do the... we do a dwarf rhododendron in front of the other one, so that makes it match a little bit more. Oh. Yep, that'll work, I think. I do actually have space right at the sides here for something, but it would have to be very small. So, what do we have in statuary? Do we have a... I don't think we have that much in statuary, do we? So we go back for... decorations, sculptures. Is it really just the elephants and the owls and the little lanterns? It is. It's a shame that there isn't a little bit more, isn't it? How about the owls? Right, so what colours do we actually have them in? There's quite a lot of different options, isn't there? The house is very white. What would be a good colour? Yeah, I like that. Right, so actually let's put the small rhododendron in the paler colour in front of this one, so we're kind of in keeping at both sides. There we go, like that. Now around this back corner I said I wanted to try and put a flower bed in. Now there are those semicircular half raised flower beds somewhere. I've heard people are struggling a little bit with some of those. No, it wouldn't be in, no, it's not in services. Where is it in then? Is it in architecture? Construction? No, that's stairs, just stairs. There are definitely some raised beds somewhere. Which section are they in? Surfaces, recreation, plants, furniture, fences, decorations, architecture, other. Other, what's in other? Oh, composters, scarecrows, ball pits. Okay, so, where is it then? Right, it's not under architecture, it's not under fences, is it? Fences, fences, furniture, plants, no, it's just, oh, flower beds, hang on, is it under, no, that's flower beds. So where is it then? Surfaces, paving, sports, stepping to. It's got to be in here somewhere. Where is it? Okay, let's just ask for the beds. Bed. No, that's literally family beds. Ah, there's the earth for beds. Yes, this is the one, the quarter circle. This is what I was looking at. So what I want to do is find it right in the corner. If I can, what's the closest? Right, so that's the closest spot to the house. Would be nicer if it was bigger, or if it was a proper semicircle so you could add more than one, but they don't really fit together if you do it that way, which is a bit of a shame actually. So we want to go back to flowers. Oops, flowers, please. Where's flowers gone? Plants, flower beds. Is that the right one? Right. What do we want to add in? We don't want the huge plants right in the middle. We want something florally, and actually, do you know what I wanted to go for the. Do we have lilies? I want lily. Oh no. Plants. I'm sure I saw plants. Lily. Yeah, there you go. Lilium. That's what I was looking for. Oh, there aren't multiple colours. There's just a. Right. So let's put it in the back corner, as far back as it will go. Beautiful. What's this? This is a single. Right. So you can either have a big plant or you can have a single. They're quite difficult to place actually. Is that going to look right? No, that's going to look silly. Right, so let's not use a single one for this particular build. And then we want to decide what else we want to put. What's this one? Oh, that's tiny. Oh gosh, you're too tiny, babe. You would take forever to place lots of you, but you could put a lot of those in, couldn't you, and make it like a fancy. Oh no, we don't want you. We don't want you in the flower bed. Let's put you in here. And that will just add a little bit of foliage along the edge of the house as well, next to the flower bed, because the flower bed isn't quite big enough for the. Oh, where did the plant go? Where did it put my plant? That's weird, my plant disappeared. It didn't put it inside the house, did it? That's really weird. So where would that be? It did, it put my plant in the inside the wall of the house. That was weird. Right, so remember that, occasionally it can flip out a little bit and put the plant inside the house. That is funny, isn't it? I've not seen it do that before. That's interesting. Right, how does that look? It looks a bit lonely there now. I think we want to put something at the sides of that. Let's do the flower bed first, unless I see something that I want to put in there, which I might do. Right, so what else do you think would be quite good? I'm trying to think of things that might be sort of in keeping with the sort of horror-ishy, themey idea, don't you think? Lots of roses and things. What's that kind of think for? Let's see, what should we... What colour? How about a white one? How big are you? Oh no, you're much too big. Okay, so I've got to get used to the ideas of the sizes of things, which I'm not... Oh, daylily. What colour should we do you? How about a cream? How big are you? Oh, yes, quite like your idea. Put you right at the front. How far forward can you go and still fit? Oh, actually, that might fit there. You see. Oh, let's have that there. Let's put one at each side. Let's make the other one a different colour. How about a pastel rose? And put that one there. Oh, I quite like that. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I do like that. We've got the nice height difference. It's kind of cool. That's going to be too fluffy at the bottom because we want to fit a few plants into the little bush. Oh, lavender is always a good one. And that would be a good back plant as well. So if we can fit this at the back there, that's kind of a big full plant. So we want some small things at the front, don't we, to make it pretty. Now, can we fit you at the side? Beautiful. You're a bit big. There, that could work. And then we want a few smaller things around the... Oh, a little fern would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Oh no, you might be a bit too big. Yes, that's too big, I think. I wonder if there's a miniature one. That could be quite nice, if there's a tiny, tiny one. How small? No, that's not small enough. We would want somewhere with a bit more space for that. That could fit quite nicely in some places. Marigold might be a good one. That's quite a small one. I might come back to the marigold. How big is this one? No, it won't fit underneath the other one. If it would have fit underneath here like that, that would have been really cool. But I think it's possibly a bit too... Oh, hang on, it might fit. That might work, actually. Right, so we are filling... I want it to be quite dense, but I want it to fit quite nicely as well at the same time. So, oh, can we fit one of these little ornamentals in the gap here, maybe? No, it's just that little... Then, oh, maybe I'll fit there. Oh, yes, see, because I want it just to feel dense. I don't want it to feel empty. So I want to fill as many of the little gaps as we possibly can. Right, let's go to the flower bed flower, shall we, and see what we can fit. See, that little tiny one will fit in a lot of gaps. We saw that, didn't we? Now, what else have we got that would fit quite nicely? The marigold definitely will. Oh, a little anemone maybe? Oh no, that's not as little as I thought it was going to be, actually. Right, so no, that's a bit too big. How big are you? Can I get you to sit in this little gap here? No, I can't. Can I get you to... I can get you to sit there, though. What about you? How big are you? I don't think I'm going to be able to fit anything in that little gap there, but you will go there. That's nice. We're filling this in quite well. I really want it to be a very dense sort of foliage. Oh no, much too big. Right. How about you? How small are you? Oh yes, we're nearly done. We've not got a lot of space left here, so we want one of the little what colour should we go for? How about a blue? I don't think we've got blue yet, have we? Can we fit it? Oh, that's looking good, that's looking good. Now, that time... Oh, oh no, much too big. We want something very small now, don't we? So if we go all the way back to the top for that tiny... Now, can we fit a... Can we get you in the gap? We can. If we can get a couple of these in this gap to close that gap, that would be... I think we can only get the one, but that's better than nothing. And is there a neat way we can fit an extra one in around the edge? I just want to use as many of the gaps as we can. I think that's as full as we're going to be able to make it. Yep, I think that is as full as we're going to be able to get it. Right, beautiful. Let's put one of you right in the front there. And that is our new flower bed, which I think has turned out really well. I love that denseness and that tight, packed, compact sort of floral country garden feel. I think that that's worked out really, really well for us. So I think most of the garden now is completed. I just want to add that little bit of extra decor along the front fence. So I think what we want to do is we want to get a conifer, and we want these tall, fairly thin column bushes. Now, do we want to go for a tight column or a more fluffy one? What should we go for? Ooh, what does this look like? How tall are you? Let's have a look at the difference of the different shapes, what we've got. I think this one looks quite nice. So how tall are you? Oh yes, that's going to work out nicely. So if we line them up with where the main fence posts are, all the way along the front, and then we'll put them all into the ground in a little bit. I just want to line them up. Now we've got the tree there, so can I still fit it? Oh, I can. I was just going to say the one next to the tree we might have to miss out, because I don't know if we've got enough space, but it will actually fit. So I think we're nearly at the end here, and then what I want to do as we... see, that one's slightly off the fence post because I want to keep this old fence, this old plant here. And I really don't think we can fit one in the corner. And then in between these, I would really like to get one of those big shrubby type bush things. And I'm just trying to figure out whether we want a tall one or if that, maybe we want something like this. It's a bit bushy. Now, which shape would look nice? So that personal preference, isn't it, as for what sort of style of bush you're going to want. I like that one. So let's see if we can fit, can we fit those between? I don't think we can, I think they're too big. Right. Actually, let's plant the conifers first, and then we'll know exactly. Hold to pick up. You're not going to let me plant it. Oh, do these ones not go in the ground? Are these ones... Oh. That was weird. Why would it not let me do that with the other two? Let me place them, so I thought they were in the right place. The hole is now dug. Let us plant our tree and cover it in dirt and give it some water. Right, now... why do you not want me to plant this one? Ah, now, well, it was probably just placed slightly too close to the fence. There we go, let's get that planted. problem, of course, with this one is it might be just that little bit too close to the other plant as well. Just a matter of jigging it around a little bit until it's in a position where we can dig the hole for it to go into the ground. So this last couple might not be in the ideal position because of the other foliage, but that's fine. But yeah, let's get them all dug into the ground and then we can see how much space we've got between them in order to add like I just want like a big bushy shrub along the front in between them. So I just have to find what will actually fit in the gap. I kind of like the idea of that big bush, but I think it might be just that little bit too big to fit in the space, so we'll have to see. And of course a little bit further up where we've got things slightly further apart, they might have fit, but up at that end we might need something slightly smaller, so we might have to adjust the size of the thing we put in the middle. Could always put a big floral thing in between as well instead, but we'll see. I was kind of thinking for going for the plain green because of the style of house and the link to the horror genre. I didn't think too much floral stuff probably just wasn't going to look great for that particular house and that theme. Though we did add a little flower bed just because I think it's too dark and stuff for a family house if you don't add a little bit of colour and a little bit of life and fun in there as well. But you can add your own things without completely removing the connotations from before as well, so I think that's a good way to do it. Right, are you going to go in the ground, or am I going to have to move you slightly further away from the... oh no, a bit further away from the path? Yeah, a little bit further away from the path before it was happy. Right, here we go. Let's get this one. That's half of it done. So we've just got the other half to complete. And then this project is going to be... oh, needs some more water. Sorry, plant, didn't give him enough water. Yeah, and again, this one's going to need to go slightly further away from the path in order to be able to actually fit it in. Whoops, that was a little bit of a slow save there. Oh, we're going to have to move this one again. I put them a little bit too close to the fence, I think, for it to be happy with planting. Yeah, just that little tiny bit too close to the fences. Because when you dig your plants in, you certainly don't want to dig your fence up. Right, we're nearly there, guys. Yep. Oh, I was trying to water before I'd finished planting. Right, planting successful. Are we going to have to? Oh yes, we're going to have to move you again. Oh, I've put everything too close. Yeah, so I like the idea of the shrubs. So I think I have to see if there's a smaller shrub than the one we were looking at before, so we can fit it in the gaps. And if the shrubs won't fit, we'll have to see what other floral sort foliage-based vegetation. And then if that doesn't work, we'll put floral vegetation in. We'll find something that will fit and will look nice. Right, we can dig that one. Right, so we must be nearly there now. We've been doing this for a little while, so we must be close to the end. Here we go. Pop you in there, cover you with your soil, and make sure you get plenty of water. And oh yeah, we are now on the last one of these trees. There we go, last one in the hole, last one covered up, last one being watered. And there we have our nice long row of trees. So now some foliage. So I want some sort of bushy thing. Maybe don't want it to be too big. Maybe we go for a... ooh, how about the dwarf shrubs? Got lots of different colours and things. We could go down the whole length of colours, couldn't we? We could do one of each. Oh, well they're maybe too small actually. That's possibly too small, so that's 0.5 metres and that's a little bit small. We could put a couple of them in between, but let's see, so that's 0.5, so this says 0.4. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So I want something a little bit bigger than that. So then do we go from 0.5? So we've got a half. Ah, now they would work, wouldn't they? They would work. Maybe we do a different one at each spot along the stretch of the garden, so we've got a lot of variation. Right, so that was the very first one. So if we now go to the next one and put that in the next gap, and then we'll have a lot of variation of the different types of foliage as we go, won't we? Pop that in the ground. I like using all the different foliage. It's kind of relaxing and fun, isn't it? So we're on the third one. Where do we put you to fit you nicely? Yeah. Let's dig you in. There we go. Pop you in and cover you up. Oh no, cover him up. Don't dig him out when you've only just put him in, Kitty. Nice. So there we've got, oh, I like the variation in colour, look at that, that's nice. So that's 1, 2, 3, so this is number 4. Well, that's a nice big full leaf, that one, isn't it? Right, dig the hole. Put you in, cover you up, and water. So that's the first half of the garden. Quite like that. Alright, so next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the last one of the different styles of these plants. So we are going to duplicate 1 or 2. So let's go back up from the bottom. I think that one might be my favourite one because of the dense foliage, and it's a nice green colour, and the leaves are quite nice as well. The shape, I like that dense foliage shape, I really like that one. So that's the Sambucus nigra, that's my favourite one I think. And then this berry one, this berberis, is really quite nice as well. Let's put another one of those ones in. Well, it isn't really berries, is it? It's like alternating red and green leaves. I really like that as well. So I think those two are my favourites. Like I said, lots of plants and foliage and things. Very, very personal choice. So which ones do you like the best? The ones that I like, are they the ones you would use? Or would you use some of the different ones? What's the next one? That was this one, isn't it? So that's the next one. Let's put you here and dig you in. And I think we're nearly there now, aren't we? Two more. Right, so what we're going to put in the last one then? Alright, so what shall we put in the last one? We just did these, didn't we? back down to the bottom because that's a while since we've used this one. There we go, and then that I think is going to be our garden completed. So I'll just have a quick run around the garden again just so you can see everything that we've done to it, and then we will be selling the house. Let's just water this final plant. And there is the section at this end of the house here. So here's our front fence with all of our trees and bushes, just all that nice dense greenery. Got a lot of open space for the kids to play on the grassy area. We've got the children's playground over here. We've got the beds at the front of the house, which we've kept the traditional old planting here. We've added some floral bushes at the side here, some sculptures, a couple more floral bushes at the side here, and there's the second set of our bushes and shrubs along the front of our garden. We've added the decorative cemetery around the burial plot in the back garden of our horror themed house, with our bench area, our memorial rose bush and little garden, and then the dense foliage to hide it from the rest of the garden and to keep it quiet and peaceful as a cemetery should be. By the side here we've added a small plot of country flowers because we don't want to overload the garden too much. We've got a beautiful relaxing patio area here, including the barbecue. We've added some outdoor furniture, a couple of plants and one of these lovely benches on the little patio at the back of the house. Got a relaxing hammock for the parents maybe while they're watching the kids, or of course they could watch it from the patio area, and lots of things for the kids to play with at this formerly owned by a horror writer house. And we've kept, like we said, the dark foliage at the front of the house to keep that theme going, and we've turned the house into a beautiful family house with a lovely, useful, practical garden for a family. And so now it's time to sell the house. So we bought the house for $187,000. It's got 12 rooms and we've worked on the garden as well, and we've currently worked on the house for 7.5 hours, so that's a lot of time we've put into the house. So let's see what the buyers think of it. So the single guy likes the big bedroom, but as I said, we built this really for a family. I don't see many people with family. Hey, family with families are at the top, exactly what we were expecting. So the Smith family said we need at least 2 bedrooms, and what do we have here? We definitely have at least 2 bedrooms. I thought we had 3 actually. There you go. It's great there are 5 bedrooms. Each child will have their own. What do you mean there's no big family room? We made a big family room in the basement. See, some of the things that these people think is because it's an AI, it doesn't always see things the same way that we did, because we did put a big family room in the basement for the house, so obviously it's missing something to categorise it as a big family room for the algorithm. But we bought it for $187,000 and they are offering us $256,000, so we will make a net profit of £55,670. So I think that worked out really, really well for us. So we're going to accept that offer. Hope you've enjoyed watching us do this house, and I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!